I am out in our barn, and today I have to get this barn cleaned and ready. We have a wedding on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. I've already cleaned the bridal suite and the groom's room. I like to do those on Sundays because I often have tours throughout the weeks. And this space looks, fairly decent for having a wedding, even though it's dirty. But the bridal suite and the groom's room, they really can't be shown unless they're clean. So to clean the space, I have to clean both bathrooms. I need to clean up this kitchen, wipe out the fridge, wash all the stuff that was used last week, throw away any trash. And then the chairs need to be cleaned off and the tables need to be cleaned off. I'll stack the chairs onto the tables and the floors need to be cleaned off. One of the big transitions that I actually need my husband's help for, because it's involving moving these tables, which are super heavy, is that I need to move to this floor plan. So this is my walkthrough sheet that I do with couples about a month out from their wedding, and I get all of the details. This meeting takes at least an hour, if not longer. And you can see in this is kind of chicken scratch, but I've got 4 rows of 4 tables, plus they have a head table. And right now I have 4 rows. This is a pretty standard layout with a way to maximize it inside of our barn. But this last wedding had this space up in front of their sweetheart table. So I need a table here. I need to bring in a table here. And then I need a table on both sides of the sweetheart table so I can get a head table in here. There are some extra chairs in here that was used for the last wedding. They had a front row of chairs for their ceremony. So I do have some chairs, but I don't think that's enough for the 4 tables I'm bringing in. So not only do I need to bring 4 tables, I need to bring in some extra chairs. I need to get the floors mopped, which I don't like mopping the floors until basically Friday morning, right before they come in to start decorating. So I'll get all of the rest of that stuff done. There's also some other furniture to move. This wedding, this is a pretty standard, this little bar setup right here with these wine barrels. We usually do dessert here. They're bringing in their own dessert cart, so I'm going to have to remove this whole setup. And right now it actually has a sample of all of our decor. I like to leave that out for couples touring. But this wine barrel needs to get moved, and this setup needs to get moved. They are bringing in like a photo booth for their welcome table, and they're going to use my half round folding table. So that means I also need to press the linen that goes on that. On this side, they are doing a self-serve bar, so this bar needs to be pushed back against the wall. And then they are going to have some extra tables out here, not for guests that are for dinner, but they're going to they have 3 extra tables to work with. So they're going to put 30 seats out here. That would be because this is the dance floor. So as once we transition out of dinner out here, there'll be some tables and chairs for people to be able to sit right on the dance floor. So in my true procrastinator form, I'm going to take some time to show you guys the getting ready spaces that I've already cleaned before I actually start cleaning inside. So this is our groom's area that I'm walking into now. And this space, like I said, has already been cleaned. And this is really nice. Our getting ready spaces are separated, so the bride's area is actually over there. So I'm going to head in there next. And this is the primary getting ready space. Bathrooms are my absolute least favorite to clean, so I usually start with them. I have to clean the sink, I have to clean the toilets, and then I have to clean the glass, wipe down all the handles, make sure there's paper towels out here, make sure there are toilet paper, all of that fun stuff. My staff usually takes out the trash in the bathroom the night of, so that's helpful. And they aren't generally too bad, except for sometimes it's a wedding and people drink. So, yeah. So, I'm funny, as I just finished cleaning both bathrooms, and as I was cleaning those bathrooms, our porta potty guy showed up. So, you can see over there, we have 2 porta potties in our parking lot. And that's because we do weddings up to 200, and 2 bathrooms. It's great for probably like 150 or less, but anything over that, everyone eats at the same time, drinks at the same time. Everybody has to go to the bathroom at the same time. So that's what the porta potties, the extra in our parking lot, are for. Okay, so now the next task I have, I'm going to clean all the glass. So there's always kid slobber, licking of the doors. So we have 3 French doors, 2 windows, and the glass garage door. All of that needs to be wiped down. It's mostly dirty fingerprints from little kids, but we don't want to carry that over to the next wedding. Okay, so my next job is this kitchen, which is pretty messy. And the sink has all the leftover lemons from the lemon water. Dispensers need to be cleaned. Shouldn't be too much work though, probably like 15 minutes in here. So kitchen is clean besides the floors in here. And the last thing I'm going to do is go around and kind of wipe the walls, these kind of shelves in our barn. Sometimes people put drinks on them. They get like little drink rings. I'm just going to go around the whole place and see what I can find. For example, this door, I don't know if you can see that. That is fly poop on our door. So I'm going to clean this door off. Just all the things to kind of make sure that it looks crisp and bright, as white as possible. So I did my kind of walkthrough on all of the spots. I think I have it pretty cleaned. And the last thing I'm going to do before I start these tables and chairs, I just want to do a light inspection. So I just like to make sure that all of our lights, we have 3 different sets. We have the chandeliers, we have, I call these barn lights, the black hanging ones, and then we have wall sconces. And I just do a visual inspection, make sure that none of the light bulbs are burnt out, because that would suck for a wedding day. And then also I'm kind of looking for like spider webs and things like that. I see one like on that light over there. I don't know if it's going to show up, but I'm going to take my broom and clean that out. I just don't want any of those things to look bad. All right, so clean off the lights. And in the spring, I do a deeper clean of those lights. I actually have like this 12-foot ladder that I go up and actually dust off every single light, make sure they're all nice and shiny for the season. But in between, I'm just kind of looking for spider webs and things like that. So first, to clean these tables, I'm going to pull out all of my chairs so I can really get in there. And then I will wipe down all of these chairs. And I will probably speed this up because this is definitely the longest portion of it. I usually listen to a podcast or audiobook or something like that. I actually enjoy this time. I'm kind of an introvert. I don't really like being around a lot of people. So I've actually hired out the coordinating and that part of the wedding stuff before I've hired out the cleaning, because I don't mind being alone and cleaning. So I will speed this up so you don't have to painfully watch all of this. So as I was cleaning, I realized that I should probably move my tables because it'll be easier for my husband and I to bring in the extra table and just plop it right there. So I'm going to clean these chairs and set them up there, but I'm going to use my floor plan so that I have the exact number of chairs. So I'm working on this row right here. So I need 9, 8, and 8. So that is what I'm going to clean, and that is what I'm going to set on top of the tables. I'm going to repeat that process for all of the tables. I'm going to move this table. I'm going to get as many chairs out over here, and then I will be in a spot where I'm ready for my husband to help me move out tables to fill in those spots. I can go get the extra chairs that I need. I can do that myself. So I like to do as much as I possibly can and then have him help me like all at once. Today is Thursday, and yesterday, I think total, I spent about 2 hours in here doing all of this work. So everything is pretty much clean. The floors are not clean at all. I do need to bring in those extra tables, get the other chairs up. I'll need to sweep the floors, and that is all I will do in here for today because I want to mop them Friday right before they get here. And then I do have our timeline I put inside of here. Okay, so I have our timeline set up there, and we also have our banquet permit. And then we do have our permit that allows us to do weddings. I'm just covering up the bride's address on that. So I have all this stuff in here. This is really helpful for my staff because it gives them all of the instructions of what they need to do for the wedding. So I type this out every week. I also get a hold of our vendors to see what time they are arriving. Just really helps us keep organized. So across from the barn is our big garage, which is basically just used for extra wedding furniture. So you can see our extra tables here. We're going to end up bringing 4 of those. We have our bar tops right there. And then this is all of the decor and items that we offer for couples to use. They are going to be using these black candlesticks. And then also with the black candlesticks, the LED candles, which are right there. So I'll pull those out and have them ready for them to use to decorate on Friday as well. And then we have this cart over here that my husband made. This allows us so we don't have to carry the tables all the way from this garage over there, but they are really heavy to load onto the cart. So even though I could probably wheel that over myself, I couldn't load it on or unload it without him. So that's why I'm waiting for him to come out here and help me. So I'm waiting for my husband to move those tables, but I realized that I did not have this linen ironed yet. And this linen is going to go on their welcome table. Now, I actually don't offer very many linens, and that is a very intentional decision because linens are either very expensive to dry clean or very time consuming to iron. And we have 22 tables, so if I provided linens for all 22 tables, I'd just be ironing all week long. That would not be fun, or I'd be spending a lot more of the money getting the linens dry cleaned. The advantage of that is you do have lighter weight tables, so you aren't waiting around for someone to help you move them, but definitely more expense. 2 of the tables had to go in the front, so we just wheeled those over from the garage and then we take them off the cart and get them into place. And then after they are in place, I will clean them and get the chairs on top of them. The other 2 were in the back, so it's a lot further of a walk, so we just attach it to our Can-Am and then get them in place that way. So the total time it takes us to flip from one wedding to the next, cleaning the getting ready spaces, cleaning the barn, the bathrooms, the kitchens, that's all pretty much the same. And I would probably estimate that at like 6 hours or so. The biggest time difference is going to be when we change guest count sizes, all of the chair movement, all of the table movement. That takes a lot of effort. The tables have all been moved over. I've cleaned them all. I've put the chairs on them. I've swept the floors. So really the only thing left I have in here to do is to mop and then flip all of the chairs back over. I also have some of the other pieces that they're going to be using or Saturday. That's the table that will get the linen for the welcome table. And then one thing I'm going to do left today, well, those are the candles they're going to use, is refill the trash bags. Shockingly, that will not be enough trash bags for one wedding. So I need to bring more of those out and then also more paper towels. So I will do that and then call it a day today. And tomorrow, mop. It is Friday morning, probably about 9 o'clock or so, and I am just mopping up these floors. When I am all done mopping, I'll take all the chairs and put them down. And then it'll be ready for the couple to come in. They come in about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's the same time that my coordinator is going to be here. And she will be down here while the couple is here and their family and friends decorating, getting set up. She will also run their rehearsal at 4 o'clock. And then this couple is renting our barrel room. So at 5 o'clock, they'll transition from down at the barn up to our farm shop tasting room. I am all done in here. The floors are all mopped and clean. The chairs are all down. I also have their candles pulled so they can start decorating. So we are ready for them to come in at 2. And tomorrow I'm going to make a whole separate video on everything that we set up outside because it's quite a bit of setup. So I will try and post that right about the same time that this video gets posted. So hopefully you don't have too much of a delay to be able to watch all of it together. All right, thank you.